Some time ago, I bought myself these fine art pencils. The idea was that I was going to use them to enhance my silk paintings, something I never ever did. However, after my art session this morning, using my silk paints to paint my jacket, I've decided it's time to be brave. So here goes. They really are a gorgeous set. I mean, these are just far too nice to stay in the box and not be used. So today I'm going to be brave. But I am starting small. The plan is to just colour in the rainbow on my bag and see how it goes. First of all, we need to wet it because using them like silk paints, the fabric needs to be wet. Now, having never used them before, I've no idea what is going to happen. The other problem is that I left all my art brushes where I was painting this morning, as I needed to go back another time to finish them off. So I dug through the drawers, came up with a pasty brush. So what I'm doing first is I have plastic inside here, so it's not going to go everywhere. The theory is we should be able to just wet the bit that I actually want to colour. As I said, this is my very first time of trying them, so I have no idea how this is going to work. But there we go. All I want to do at the moment is the rainbow. Okay, a nice red, because we all know that I'm really fussy about the way the rainbows go. So I've got my nice red one, and I am just going to gently, oh, that looks nice. It's actually almost dissolving in the water. I might have to try it on a dry patch to see how it goes, but not at the moment. If this works, this will do nicely for what I want to try out today. Right, that's the red one. Well, that looks quite good. These colours are really rich. My next job is to see how they're going to look when they've dried. Okay, so I definitely used far too much water, and ironing it just meant that the colours soaked off completely onto the other cloth I was ironing onto. So I'm going to try something different. This time, I'm just going to gently dip the pencils in the glass of water before I use them and see if that does anything different. Well, they're certainly not spreading as much. Although the water is making the colour come off a fair bit. So we have a nice rich colour again, but instead of it spreading in all directions, like it did when I'd soaked the fabric in water, this is actually staying where I want it. So this time I'm going to use the same colours, but I'm just dipping them in the water instead. Okay, that looks a little bit better than it did after being ironed. I'm going to wait for it to dry this time before I iron it, which means probably tomorrow morning. So the good news is that it's now the next morning. The bag has dried and been ironed, and the colour's looking quite good. I am wondering if some of these little bits here, let me just zoom in now. I am wondering if some of these colours here would have looked better if the fabric hadn't been quite so wet, but that's something to try out for next time.